Hello. Okay, 1 second, you guys. We need to lock focus because I'm filming on my camera today. Hi, oh my god, long time no see. I missed last week. Should I bother with locking focus? I'm not gonna. Whatever. You guys are fine, right? This lighting is kind of weird. I just got back from Wings with my friend Morg, and I've had exactly one beer, and today is Monday, so I really need to film this Japanese shit. Yeah, so like the last week that I missed, right? One of these uploads was supposed to happen this time last week. I had done some like Japanese studying and learning, mostly just like watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I listened to a couple more episodes of the Learn Japanese with Masa Sensei podcast. And then the week after that, I just got like so fucking busy with work stuff and like art things and yada yada that like I didn't even go to the gym last week. So yes, that's my excuse. I'm back now. And so let's just get into it. I suspect this is just going to be like such a quick little recap, but you know, that's what these are supposed to be. They're just, which is what I'm telling myself. They're just supposed to be very casual, very whatever. So yes, I basically, all I really learned that I can like write down, other than the like YouTube videos that I watched, which were about like a bunch of different topics, were adjectives. Okay, back to talking about adjectives, e and na adjectives, in negative and past tense negative forms. So yeah, so for example, negative form of a e adjective is, so for example, we have the adjective oishi, which means yummy or delicious or whatever. To have the negative form of that, something was not oishi, is oishikunai. Oishikunai. So you take the last e and you change it to a ku, and then you go nai. Oishikunai. So for more examples of e adjectives, what do we have here? Oki. So oki is big. So to say something wasn't big, it would be okikunai. Okikunai. Or chisai. Chisai is small. And so not small would be chisakunai. Chisakunai. So yeah, it just follows that rule for e adjectives. And then na adjective negative form is pretty simple. You just add ja arimasen or janai or dewa arimasen afterwards. So for example, a na adjective is kirei. Kirei na hito or whatever. So not pretty would be kirei ja arimasen or kirei janai or kirei dewa arimasen. That's like different levels of politeness. So kirei dewa arimasen is the most formal, the most polite. Kirei ja arimasen is kind of like middle formal, like normal, whatever. And then kirei janai is more like casual. So then, yeah, you just attach that after the na adjectives. So another example of a na adjective is genki. Genki meaning lively, healthy, whatever. Genki na hito. Genki person. So not genki would be genki janai or genki jarimasen. Pretty simple, dimple, guys. And then, so past tense. Now let's go back to an e adjective. So to use the example that I was using, oishi, past tense is, instead of taking the last e and turning into a ku, you turn it into a ka, and then you add ta. So past tense oishi is oishikatta. Negative is 美味しくない. Past tense is 美味しかった. So more examples of that. Let's go with 暑い, which is hot. To say that it was hot, it would be 暑かった, 暑かった, 暑い, 暑かった. Or cold, 寒い. 寒い, past tense would be 寒かった, 寒かった. So yeah, same kind of thing, just with a different little hanging off the end there. And then, so if we wanted to do past tense negative, we kind of combine the two. So back to 美味しい is, so negative 美味しい, not 美味しい is 美味しくない. 美味しくない. So instead of taking the E and at the end of 美味しい, you take the E at the end of the ない and you turn that into past tense. So it would be 美味しくなかった. So it's 美味しくないかった, but you drop the E. So 美味しくなかった. Right? So another example is 難しい, difficult. So to say that it wasn't difficult, past tense, is 難しくなかった. Because not difficult is 難しくない, and not difficult past tense, or I guess difficult past tense is 難しかった. So past tense not difficult is 難し, what the fuck did I just say? Past tense difficult is 難しかった. Past tense not difficult is 難しくなかった. Okay? I feel like when I was learning this in a textbook, it was like so difficult to understand, like, and like wrap my head around what parts needed to like turn into other parts or like get dropped or whatever. But for some reason, learning through this podcast and just having somebody tell me rather than like trying to read through it in a textbook, I feel like I understood it so much easier. And maybe that's just like I'm more of a kind of oral learner or like a visual learner rather than like a reading comprehension learner. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of the case for a lot of people, because how do you learn your first language? You learn it by listening to, you know, your parents speaking it or whatever, or like the people around you speaking it, not by studying a textbook, right? So I think that kind of makes sense. So yeah, that is E adjective past tense negative, and then na adjective past tense is, so to use kirei again, kirei deshita, kirei deshita. So past tense na adjective negative is kirei jarimasen or kirei janai, just kirei not, whatever. And then past tense, you just add deshita to the end. Kirei deshita. So then, if you want to do past tense negative, you just combine the two. So it would be kirei jarimasen deshita or janai deshita. I wonder if there's a more casual way to say deshita, but that's pretty short anyways. Yeah. Kirei jarimasen deshita. Okay. And then the only other rule with E adjectives that's a little bit weird is the adjective E, meaning good, is a little bit different in that when you're saying E to describe just like a person, like ii hito, good person, if you want to use past tense or negative or anything like that, it has to become yoku. Yoku means good as well. But yeah, when you're conjugating it, you need to use yoku. You can't use like inai, like that's not a word. It has to be yokunai. So yokunai, yokunai is not good. And then past tense negative would be yokunakatta, yokunakatta, because past tense positive is yokatta. If you watch like anime or dramas or, Japanese television or anything like that, I feel like yokatta is like such a common word. It's like, oh, thank God, I'm glad. It's like good past tense. I'm glad that happened, or like that's good that happened. Yokatta, so that's like the past tense conjugation of ii. So yeah, yokatta, yokunakatta, yokunakatta makes it negative. Yokunai, not good. So, yeah. That's basically it. I'm tired. I'm a sleepy girl this week. So yeah, I will continue my studies. I've been doing, maybe not like super recently, but last week before life got crazy busy, I was using more Anki studying. I use Anki for a bunch of kind of like N5 vocabulary, and I'm kind of working through that whenever I remember to or have the time to, so I'm trying to learn new vocabulary, and I started listening to a audiobook on Spotify. It's called Fluent in 3 Months by Benny Lewis. That was just like a book that when I searched up language learning books on Spotify, that's one that popped up and looked okay. So yeah, I started listening to it, and it's really good. I feel like it's helpful not only to be studying the language, but also studying how to study the language, right? Because like you can learn tons of vocabulary or like throw yourself into like a textbook or something like that, but if you don't really have an idea of how to structure your learning or what the fuck you're doing, you can just kind of be flailing about. So I feel like getting some perspective from somebody who has learned multiple languages, this person who wrote this book knows like, I don't fucking know, a lot of languages. And so maybe knows a thing or two about learning them. So yeah, so that's been good. I'm going to keep listening to that. I'm like halfway through it, I think. And I'll keep studying, but that's literally all I have for this one, which is kind of funny because like my last few were so long and so drawn out and lots to go over, but this is the reality of life. Sometimes it'll just be a little less, and that's okay. I'll pick up again once I have the time. I suspect that maybe in the next week I won't have too much time to do this, but hopefully the weeks after that life will kind of calm down, and then I can get back into, doing proper notes and all that again. So that's all for now, you guys. Hope you guys are having a lovely week. Start to your week, and yeah, I will talk to you guys next week, hopefully, if all goes well. If not, then the week after that. Okay, bye. じゃあね。またね。バイバイ。Okay.